What's up, guys? Welcome to MDTV Canes all day. If you're rocking with you, then you know what to do. Hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss out on a video. Big shout out to the Kane Gang, those who are part of our YouTube membership. I appreciate you guys going above and beyond to help support the channel. I've been gone for a while. I am back from break. Let's listen to, today we're listening to Mario Cristobal talk to Joe Rose. Now, if you're new around these parts, I feel like Mario Cristobal is more friendly with Joe Rose. He gives Joe Rose more real answers, and there are times where we can find little tidbits that we won't find anywhere else. So I'm going to react to what he has to say. If you want to watch or listen to the Joe Rose show, the interview by itself without me yapping, then I will put the link below so you can get to that. But Mario Cristobal, Joe Rose, what y'all talking about?
Hollywood.com.
All right, and we are live here at the University of Miami. First day of pads, and seems like every year since Mario's been here, we've been able to come out here, and he joins us right now. Mario Cristobal, coming off a 10-3, 5-7, 7-6, 10-3. The big jump. You know the number that, looking at some of the numbers last night. This is only second time in 20 years. University of Miami's won 10 games. You know, it just, I was shocked. I was like, nah, I can't. Yeah, I've been down here. I guess, and you start looking at it, but you got to feel a lot better the way this thing's flipped around. I know it didn't finish the way you wanted, but you look, and what you've had, and we'll get into the transfer portal, and these recruiting classes have been some of the tops in the country. You got to feel like at some point it's all going to catch up and come together.
No doubt. I mean, a ton of progress.
It has to come together. If the recruiting rankings are high, if the transfer portal is booming, it has to be high because the next person you look at is you, Mario Cristobal.
It's a ton of hard work. And at the end of the day, like you mentioned, when you mentioned that 20-year, that span, at the end of the day, I'm a Miami Hurricane, and I was pissed off, and I wanted to come home and fix it. And I think the more we get everybody in that mindset that we owe Miami, because Miami's been pretty damn good to us as former Hurricanes, as to our community, to our city, the better off we're going to be, and that's happening. And it shows in our roster, it shows in our progress, it shows in our GPA, our draft picks, our combine invites, you name it, and certainly our record. And we are, for us, we're just getting started. We're not even close to being in any way, shape, or form content. So you're going to enjoy today, man. We got your pads and your helmet ready for you.
Well,
I think what Mario has done at Miami has been good. He's done a lot, but I really feel like this is the season where he needs to start winning, where we have to win something. Because right now, Mario can say, hey, guys, first 10-win season in a long time. Hey, guys, you had a Heisman candidate quarterback. Hey, guys, first overall draft pick. When the last time you done that? And yes, all those things are great. And yes, Mario has won more games every year. But this is the year where I believe, are you going to get to 10 wins and a bowl win? Are you going to get to 11 wins and a bowl win? Are you going to make it to the ACC? Are you going to win the ACC? I believe right now, he has a legitimate case to look you in the eye and say, we flipped the roster. We've won games every year. We're doing things in the classroom, blase, blase. But if this season you don't make it to the ACC championship game, you don't win a bowl game, you don't make the playoffs, you can say and flip it however you want to, because we know the coaches are going to find a way to. But you're going to lose a lot of the support that right now I feel a lot of people has Mario's back. But you got to win significant games. I feel like beating down Florida and beating down Florida State and winning the state, I feel like that is significant. I also believe this has been a good enough team where we should have been winning bowl games. We should have made the ACC playoffs or the ACC championship game, especially last year, up 21-0. So right now, Mario is selling us on, when I got here, it was dog shit. Now that I've been here, we've won more and more every year. I've gotten you 10 wins. And I can look at that and say, okay, Mario, I got us a first round pick. Okay, Mario. But I believe this is the year. Can you get to 11 wins, to 12 wins? Can you get to the ACC championship? Can you win the ACC championship? Can you win a bowl game? Got to get it done.
Well, I got to tell you, I think we're all looking forward to hearing more and more about the team. So you know what it's supposed to look like, and I know you always go back to that, like, okay, that looks like some of the guys I've coached in the past that are playing in the NFL. You feel like there's more of those guys, teenagers, as well as some of the guys that are a little bit older on this team.
Absolutely, especially in the trenches, right, where it starts and ends. So we see that, and we're starting to see more than starting to see. You're starting to see legitimate depth where it's built to last. It's built for us to get better and better as the years go on. And then you see young, but you see dynamic playmakers out on the perimeter, both on offense and on defense. Guys that can play man coverage, guys that can win one-on-one matches, big tight ends that could run and knock your back.
And you've had some good ones.
Yeah, and then Kabicha can also stretch the field. So all in all, the roster has made so much progress, and everyone's got a ton of confidence in these guys.
I think Mario has done a great job when you look at our offensive and defensive line. When you just look at them. When you just look on paper, you look at height, weight, body fat percentage, 40-yard dash. When you just look at it, it looks right. But when you say we have dynamic playmakers on the outside, on offense and defense, I got to see it. I got to see it. Because any wide receiver you throw at me, I have questions about. Any defensive back you throw at me, I have questions about. Now, I believe in these guys and I'm hoping in the potential, but we still, when Mario starts talking about we got playmakers, I got to see it. We got to see it.
All right, so you come out of spring. We got all the spring stuff, and you take a look at something from the year before, and you are not afraid to hit that transfer portal and heavy at certain positions like that secondary. And what you've added coming back with the experience of these guys, some of them SEC guys, Tennessee and Auburn and some other schools, but going out and finding those guys to add the depth from what you had a year ago.
Well, it was no secret. Down the stretch, we had a tough time covering. And, you got to do things to mask that, right? You got to keep everything in front of you. But anyways, that's behind us.
Yeah.
But we had to get better personnel, too, because if you do, then you could do some things. You could do different things. And we had to get it in numbers because that was certainly an area where we had not reached expectations from a recruiting standpoint. We just didn't. Or developments.
I'm glad he admitted it. We have not reached the standard of recruiting at the defensive back level like the University of Miami should. When you look at the talent that's around us, we should be out there getting, and he's about to go on to talk about developing top-tier talent.
Standpoint, both. So if that's the case, you know what? Modern-day football lets you fill the holes in a couple different manners, and the portal is one of them. So, brother, if it's there, we're going to use it. Even if we're good at a position and there's a guy that can make us better, whether it be in high school, Japan, the portal, we're going to go get the guy.
Right.
Again, I got to give Mario credit where, as we've watched him at Miami, when there's a glaring hole, he fixes it. Tyler Van Dyke is not cutting it at quarterback. We go and get Cam Ward. Offense and coordinator aren't cutting it. We go get new offense and defensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator isn't cutting it. We cut Landry and we go get Heatherman. The secondary was not cutting it. Couldn't cover a blanket. Couldn't cover anything. Couldn't cover a snail, whatever you want to say. They couldn't cover anybody. What do? We just go in the transfer portal. We're going to take you. We're going to take you. We're going to get you. We're going to get you. We're going to get you. Now, I went out and grabbed about 6 defensive backs from the transfer portal, plus a couple players that showed flashes last year, plus some high schoolers that are coming in. One of y'all gotta, two of y'all, at least 3 or 4 of y'all gotta be better than the product we put on the field last year. So I do want that to be noted that when Mario sees a glaring hole, he's going to go try to fix it. And we know he's going to be about talent acquisition. You heard the man. It don't matter if it's high school, transfer portal, Japan. Mario go find that talent.
So the number one question I get all offseason about you guys is, hey, we didn't get to see Carson Beck throw during the spring. How's he throwing it? We all saw that little video of him playing catch a few months ago. You got to see it. You've seen it all off season since he's been given the green light to throw the ball. He's been out here now. How's he throwing it?
You know, he missed spring, but he was cleared about 10 days right after spring. So he had all 8, 9, 10 weeks of the players and their own OTAs, their player-led workouts. And he's had every single practice and every single rep as well. There has been no limitations since May. And what we've seen is exactly what we would hope we would see, and we're pushing the envelope. We think sky's the limit for him. We think we have a great version of him. He's had tremendous experience in the past, and he is beyond fired up, enthused to be part of this. So every single day he approaches it with intentionality, with purpose. And you'll watch today and you tell me what you think.
Oh, I can't.
I want to give a shout out to everybody who is doubting Carson Beck. I want to give a shout out because I honestly feel like Carson Beck, won the SEC championship, got his team to the playoffs. He was injured, so he couldn't participate in the playoffs. And he ends up getting a lot of money to come to Miami. He's going to go to the NFL. But I honestly believe him coming to Miami, maybe you don't believe it, but I believe him coming to Miami, people start hating on him even more. I believe when he was leaving Georgia, and he did have one of his tougher seasons last year, his stock maybe started to drop. People started to maybe throw a little bit of shots. But when he went to Miami, people was like, hey, we going all in. Carson Beck ain't the one. He isn't that good. Thank God Carson Beck has left. This is Georgia fans saying this all of a sudden now when Kirby really wanted Carson Beck to come back, saying all this. When they thought that he was going to go pro, Georgia fans had nothing good to say about him. But now he's going to Miami. We're glad he's gone. And I believe if you're playing the game of football, how does that not light you up that you have done so much at college football? You have won so many big games. You have been a projected top quarterback, and all of a sudden everybody down you. Now people are asking you, can you walk into steps of Cam Ward? I'm telling you right now, if Carson Beck is the true competitor and quarterback, and if he has the mindset that a lot of these big-time players have, he's going to take that, use that, and do everything he can for this U to be successful. My biggest thing with Carson Beck was how's his injury? And you just heard Mario Cristobal say he was okay right after spring practice. So they've seen him for a couple months, and everything has been good. There hasn't been any reports of any setbacks. So I believe people don't really understand what happened at Georgia last year. One of the top wide receiving core in drops. Wide receivers getting arrested. Wide receivers getting in legal trouble. In and out of the rotation. Running backs can't stay healthy. Offensive line not as good as it was. I think he's going to come to Miami, which he's at Miami, but I think he's going to play this year with a chip on his shoulder. And I think a lot of people, just like with Cam Ward, because remember, Mario Cristobal was saying that Cam Ward is different. Then the spring game came out, and everybody said, this is the Cam Ward they've been bragging on? Oh, he's just throwing a little crossing route? This is the Cam Ward? And then once the games got played, we saw what Cam can do. So I'm excited for Carson Beck. Y'all let me know where you at on the Carson Beck hype. Do you think he is what I think he's going to be, which is a leader, a good quarterback, and a quarterback that's going to lead us to a lot of victories? Or do you think what we've heard in the media ever since he's joined Miami is that he's a shell of himself?
Oh, wait, no, listen, that by itself, just to see him, he's a class act. We had him on at the ACC. Everybody had their mind made up of what he might be like, and he's all business, but at the same time, very, very respectful guy. You lost 4 wide receivers and a tight end, one of the top tight ends in the country last year. You worried at all? You hit the transfer portal as well as development.
Not worried, confident. I think every year college football is, I wouldn't say it's completely a one-year team that you're coaching every year, but there certainly is a lot of transition and a lot of change. And we recruited really well at those positions. Not overly deep, but deep enough. And what we've seen so far in practice with the combination of the older guys we brought in from the portal, the younger guys that we signed, and then the leadership of a guy like C.J. Daniels, I think you're going to be really impressed with the way not only he performs, but the way he rounds up those guys and keeps pushing that unit forward. He's been unbelievable, and we've been, like, our offense, we continue to evolve because we know obviously everyone's going to put the bullseye on an offense that had a ton of production. We continue to evolve. I think we're going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's all I can say, because I can talk to you guys about how Josh Moore is catching a touchdown every time the media gets to watch practice. I can talk about how C.J. Daniels has these wide receivers meeting him at 5, 6 in the morning to catch Jugs. I could tell you about how Malachi Tony just looks different, how Ray has a chip on his shoulder, but I just got to see it. I just got to see our wide receivers. I have faith, but I got to see it. I actually am more confident in what, and I'm more confident in what our running game will be like, and I think our running game is going to be so good that our wide receivers, y'all are going to have some easy matchups because everybody's going to be focused on stopping Fletcher, Lyle, Brown.
And you had some guys, it was so good. How helpful is it? I should ask you, because when I was playing and you were playing, nobody was graduating early to come to spring football like they are now. You had damn near your whole class do it.
Well, not only that, guys are leaving high school a whole year early, not half a year and a half early. Guys are reclassing and whatnot. It's the biggest advantage you can imagine. Imagine going through, 7-8 months of training, of going through spring practice, your winter workouts, your stations, your summer OTAs, getting 15, 18, 21 credits under their belt, knowing just process, where to be, how to get there. You just eliminate a redshirt year when you do that. Right. You're able to just come right in, especially at the, some of the guys that we're recruiting. You could get those guys ready to play right away.
So we talked about the wide receivers and the secondary. You got a pretty good idea of everybody, or is it still to be determined between now and that Notre Dame game, or of who will be playing and who the key backups will be?
I mean, you have a general idea, but the truth of the matter is the best part about this entire team is that they do love to work. They do. They love to work. They love to compete. And we would never shut the door on anybody at any time of year as it relates to playing time. I mean, the more we play, the better of a team we become. The more buy-in it is to being a team. And, we tell these guys all the time, this is the last time you're going to be part of I know we're headed towards a business model in college football, but still a team game, man. And there's too much, I would say, too much progress by a lot of young guys at a lot of critical positions. Last night we were sitting there talking, going, holy crap, we had no idea this guy would catch on so quickly. But you know what? Hard work's paid off. Let's get him in the rotation with the ones, in the next couple of practices, see how he responds against better competition.
One of the guys I'm really looking forward to, I was looking at the roster last night, is your defensive tackle, Justin Scott. Just his development from a 5-star guy, great get, one of the top recruits you've had over these 3 great recruiting classes, and now he gets a chance to be a frontline guy. How much has he developed over the year?
A ton of progress with him. It's his time, and he's ready. What gets him ready are those guys on the other side of the ball. because they get, you know what, they'll get their pads down, they'll knock your ass around. And if you don't like that kind of life, you ain't going to survive in this conference and any conference in college football. So Justin has been, it's been a baptism of fire since last year, just thrown in there against an excellent offensive line. He's responded well. We expect a big year on him.
Trenches, 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 trenches. Justin Scott, former 5-star kid, played a couple games last year. Got him a sack early in the year. Got to see what he can do. Ahmad Moden, got to see what these boys can do.
The experience factor of all the guys and that transfer portal, the one thing it brings, if everybody buys into your system, is they played some big-time football. A lot of these guys you have. How much does that help, especially on the defensive side of the ball?
Yeah, you got to have it. I mean, you can't have independent contractors that are strictly all assassins, right? Because those guys would have agendas and go separate ways. But, again, Corey Heatherman is a really he's an elite coach and individual and teacher, and that's the most valuable thing when it comes to coaching, right? A guy's got to be able to teach and connect. And every single day he finds a way to make those guys better so their buy-in is really, really, really high. You'll see it in the forum and the way we communicate today, the way we run to the football. We're not all the way there yet, but, man, it's been exciting to watch that defensive progress.
Can we just get lined up? Can we get lined up and know what we're doing on defense? Can a man go in motion and we look like we've seen it before? Corey Heatherman, let me tell you something. Corey, come here, Coach Heatherman. I honestly believe you got the easiest job because this defense just needs to be a little bit decent, and they gonna look like the Bears of old, the Ravens of old, the 85 Bears, the 2000 Ravens. If this team is even just a little bit good, because what we saw last year, missed tackles, missed gaps, missed alignments, arguing while somebody's going in motion, leaving people wide open. That shit was disgusting. That shit was disgusting. So Corey Heatherman, I like the fire when you talk. I like that people say that you're a teacher. You're teaching them. Get them boys lined up right. Get them boys playing right.
You talk about elite. I'm always curious, and we're talking about Corey Heatherman, defensive coordinator that's you just got. What makes him special? Like, is it simplifying things so everybody can understand and doesn't have to think a lot? Is it still being aggressive? And what do you see from him?
Well, it's simple in I would say consistency in terminology, coaching in sound bites and not in dissertations, right? If you have to talk a bunch, you're going to confuse somebody, right? We're talking about snap, judgment, and decisions throughout the course of the game. But he makes it simple and digestible for our guys, but complex for the other side. He's a conceptual and a progression teacher. Like Shannon Dawson, those guys teach in a progression, and they teach concepts so you could almost overlay, right? Cut and paste to different formations, to different sets, to different looks up front that end up being a sim pressure or, a zone pressure. So when you can do that and have things just relate to each other and have word association with it, I think you get a lot more mileage.
I know your focus right now is on this football team and getting ready for the start of the season. But that recruiting thing never stops, does it?
No, it will never stop.
So where do you find, as a head coach, and everybody talks about your crazy hours, and we have a little fun with it in the morning that your wife never gets vacations and stuff. When do you recruit? Like, what time you go, all right, let me hit the West Coast for a while now.
No, you take advantage of every single second and minute. And you know what? You got to have people that understand that. Like, when we hire coaches, they and their wives, their spouses, they better understand that. This is not a hobby. It's not a check the box, punch the clock job. Like, dude, I'm gonna buzz you at whatever time necessary so we could get whatever done. So when we're sitting here with Joe Rose next year, he's going, holy crap, who is that?
Right.
And that there's one behind him and one behind him. That's the only way to get really good. It's become very different because, as you see, There's money involved now. There's no market stability. You don't know, right? It's not dictated by anything. So you've got to be on point with your relationships, with your connections, with the communication. And it doesn't stop. You just got to, when you do take your family on vacation, which is not too long, you just got to find the windows. And you got to be willing to, step away from what you're doing and handle it.
That's one thing that Mario will always have, is that he is crazy at recruiting. And I know there has been talk about, missing out on some of the local talent. But the reason that I haven't gone like scorch earth and gone crazy about it is because I know Mario is trying. You won't hear any stories about, well, Miami didn't recruit me hard enough, or they didn't even talk to me. Because I honestly believe that Mario and his staff, like he said, my wife don't get a vacation. She knows that. But when I hire somebody, I say, look, man, you can come to the U, but how we do it over here, your wife don't get no vacation because I need you recruiting 24/7. I need you coaching 24/7. So when it comes to recruiting, I do point out things like, I feel like last year the recruiting class should have been better because that's the standard that Mario has set. But you also got to look at it like, I know how this game is changing, and I know there's a lot of different factors. But one thing I do know is that Mario is going all in every second when it comes to recruiting. And when it comes to Miami, I mean, his reputation for working hard speaks for itself.
It's that simple.
You come in, the coaches poll just came out. You're 10th in the country. What means high expectations once again.
It don't matter. It don't matter. Preseason rankings, they don't matter. Nobody has seen this year's Miami team. Nobody has seen this year's Notre Dame team. It don't matter. I don't care if we was ranked 1, 10th. We got to put in the work. Because you know what? It just don't matter. Because last year, Florida was a good team. When we beat the brakes off of them, they weren't a good team. Then they went and beat Ole Miss, and they were a good team. Which one is it? I know Mario's going to be like, F these rankings.
Finish at the top of the ACC. People notice what you're doing.
I think it means that exactly that we're being recognized for the progress of our program. And for us, it means that we have a long way to go. That's what it means to us. I think every coach wishes these polls came out at the end of the season instead of at the beginning.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think what's obvious and as true as the day is long is that we've been busting our asses to get Miami to where it needs to be, and the progress is just, it's not going to stop. And there's nothing that's going to stop it. So you're going to see us work today, brother, and you're going to see exactly why Miami continues to stay on that trajectory.
Every time I talk to you and I go, hey, Notre Dame's right around the corner, and you stay focused on that day. And you have to do that with this team as well and not get caught up like, hey, a little over 3 weeks, we're going to be playing one of the top teams in the country in Notre Dame.
Well, if we don't block and tackle and throw and catch better and secure the football better and disrupt the football better, it doesn't matter who we're playing. And those are, I'm talking since the day I started playing football for Dennis Lavelle at Columbus High School. That was it. It was like right here, right now, like I want and need your full attention. This is what we're going to do. And eventually you get to that point in time where, you change your focus. You're 10, 12, 14 days out. But until that, the whole world knows who we're playing.
Yeah.
Every single player has had that circled,
By the
forever.
way, you're playing on Sunday for a reason.
And there's absolutely, when I say that, it's not on the wall anywhere. It doesn't need to be.
No.
It doesn't. What needs to ramp up is pride and performance on a daily basis in absolutely everything we do. And when your entire organization has that, then you know what? You're ready to do things the right way.
Yeah.
Salute to Mario, because that was his same basic answer last year when we played Florida. It was, look, it don't matter who we play if we don't take care of ourselves. We got to lock on blocking, tackling, catching, defending the pass every day. And then when it's the week of the game, we got to lock in on the Florida Gators. And this year, I believe Mario when he says that with Notre Dame, because I saw him say that last year, and then went into the Florida game. We outcoached, we outplayed, we outperformed, we mollywopped them boys, 41-17.
It's incredible. As I look at this could be potentially with everything. You had the great passing game. I mean, my God, the greatest passing and one of the best we've had in the history of college football with what you just did with Cam Ward in that offense. But overall, this team just looks, if everything goes the way you expect it, it could be a lot more balanced team at every part of this team. Do you feel that way looking at it?
You know, Joe, last year we never got enough of attention is not really a big thing, but we were third in the country in yards per carry. Like, we pounded the ball really well.
No, you're right. We don't talk. I'm guilty too.
No, it's not that. I'm saying, but you just don't handcuff a Cam Ward when he can see the field, when he sees a hole in quarters coverage, when he sees a nickel leaning in too much or tipping his hand and spitting the ball out there for a big gain. You don't. Sometimes it might bite you, but you're going to get a ton of big plays as well. But it's football, and if you have a guy that can do that, you do that. So there's another, 25 plus 30 carries where, we might end up, 2 or 1 in the country in that. So we take a lot of pride in that, and we think we're getting better and better at it.
Man, Mario preaching. You can't handicap a Cam Ward. And I honestly believe sometimes this offensive staff is in a lose-lose situation, because if you put the ball in Cam Ward's hands, and it works out, everybody's talking about Cam Ward. The offensive staff gets no credit. If it doesn't work out, then it's, Miami should have ran the ball. Miami should have did this or did that. It's very tough. But I'll say this. I like how they handled Cam Ward last year. He was the best player in the country. And when you're the best player in the country, you can't try to tell Cam Ward, hey, man, sit back. You don't do – no. You let Cam Ward ball, and sometimes it's going to be good. Sometimes it's going to be bad. That's just my opinion on that.
I thought it was great. Some of the greatest PR you've had over last year was great seeing you at the NFL Combine with the number 1 pick in the draft. You can't buy that you and how close he is and what this school meant to Cam Ward. You could tell by you guys from University of Miami being there. How fun was that being there during that time with that thing so damn popular now? It
was a blast. I've never been to Green Bay either. I mean, that looked like game day out there. That was absolutely nuts. And I've missed 3 opportunities because Justin Herbert, COVID, so no draft, right?
Then Penei I thought you'd been before. I didn't realize that.
Penei Sewell had the biggest feast ever in Utah, and that was better than any draft party you could ever imagine. And then we headed out this way when Kayvon was getting, so we never had a chance to go. So it was kind of neat that when we finally did, it was a number 1 overall pick. So we weren't there very long. All right, we were on a plane quickly after. But, man, just watching that family, the reaction, Cam, the work, his teammates, just, and the truth of the matter, I think Arroyo should have been part of that first round as well. But that's all right. He'll work himself into having that type of magnitude with that team.
Yeah, listen, and more to come. So it's hey, by the way, real quickly, Ruben Bain. Coming back, got hurt early last year, but I just love Mesidor and Bain on the outside to kind of start things and kick things off.
We do too. Him and Akeem Mesidor have taken upon themselves with our, we've enhanced nutrition. You should have lunch over there today. I mean, you'll have abs.
The green shake.
You'll have abs by 2 o'clock today if you go over there. But those 2 guys have grinded themselves. Mesidor and him have leaned out. And they're both, 350, 365, 370 power cleaners. So they're really explosive, powerful guys. They've been playing the best football they have since they've been here. So, and they've been grinding. And, our offensive line, get after them. They get after the offensive line. I think you'll have a ton of fun watching that today.
Knock on wood, I just need Mesidor and Bain to stay healthy, because I think when Mesidor got here, he ended up getting hurt, and Bain was going crazy. And then last year, Bain got hurt. Now, Mesidor didn't go crazy, but he made some flashes. I believe when you put them 2 healthy, I'd hate to see the quarterback. Or I'd hate to be the quarterback.
Give you this, the big guy. I always love talking. You see the one guy, and you're going, man, that's the first guy coming off the bus, as Jason Taylor always likes to say. How good has Markel Bell looked so far?
He's
at
been
that
excellent.
Left tackle position.
Man, I'm going to send you a picture of him in high school and what he's turned into. You know, they even named a triple cheeseburger after him in town, you know, when it was NIL deals. But he's down to about 340.
Wow.
He's bending, scooting. I mean, those feet move fast. Those hands are really heavy. His balance and body control is off the charts. His knowledge of the game continues to skyrocket. Huge future for Markel Bell.
Mario, thanks, man. It's been a few
Thank
extra
you.
minutes. I really
Let's get
appreciate
after it, brother.
man. It's great. Thank you for having us out here.
I'm going to give you a penalty flag, too. Anybody gets a penalty, you go whip it right at him, all right?
I can throw it down low. I
Wherever
see
you
that.
want.
Any kind of holding or anything. All right. All offense in today.
All right, guys. I will put the link to this interview in the description if you want to just listen to it by itself. But I think Mario gave us a lot of good to talk about, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm out. Peace.